Red Dead Redemption 3 is Rockstar's most secretive project next to GTA 6. Its predecessor RDR 2 is widely considered as the best open world game of all the time, and it truly deserves this title, considering the amount of hard work that the developers put in the game. But now the fans are looking forward for the next entry in the franchise, and for that, we decided to tell you 10 things that we wish to see in Red Dead Redemption 3. There is no doubt that RDR 2 is the best recent game from Rockstar. It did almost everything perfect, but there were some things that felt a bit clunky. If we look at the game's gunplay, it feels stiff after playing the game for quite some time. The weapon wield system feels good, but sometimes break immersion from the game. To avoid all of this, what Rockstar needs to do is improve the gunplay of the upcoming game, giving it a more immersive feel. RDR 2 is known for its random encounters. In fact, it was a thing that made most of the players engaged in the game. The whole feel of you exploring the wilderness and encountering random was something new in the gaming industry. And it was Rockstar who introduced us to that thing in the first place. What we want from RDR 3 is to expand and improve more upon this concept, where sometimes the random event used to occur multiple times in RDR 2, which used to break the immersion, and we want this thing to change in RDR 3. One of the best things about RDR 2 is its heist. The robberies in the game felt more realistic, where players experienced intense gunfights and unexpected situations leading to some unfortunate things. But the amount of robberies that we could do in the game were a few, but they were grand enough to leave an impact. With RDR 3, Rockstar had the chance to improve upon this thing and give the players a lot of robberies to do, and thus capturing the true essence of the Wild West. RDR 2 is great, but there is one thing that made players a bit angry. In RDR 2, when we are in crowded city with many civilians, we are sure to make some mistake and hit someone by accident. But thanks to the wanted system, we instantly get a wanted level. This thing frustrated a lot of players, and we want this thing to change in RDR 3 because it becomes difficult to navigate the map when you are 100% sure that you will hit someone while horse riding. The most requested thing about RDR 2 was its story DLC, which we never got, sadly, because if we look at any other major Rockstar game, excluding GTA 5, they had their own DLCs, which gave us an insight about the story after the events of the main game. RDR 1 got its DLC, but RDR 2 didn't, and this thing made players sad. With RDR 3, they can right their wrongs by making a DLC that will give players more information about the in-game story. The hunting system of RDR 2 is near perfect, but it still has some flaws. For example, sometimes when we are looking for a certain species of animals, they just don't appear. Just like your father when he went out to grab some milk. While on the other hand, the species that we don't need appear out of nowhere, just like your uncle. This thing really breaks the immersion and tests the player's patience. And as a matter of fact, the game explains the system poorly, where it doesn't tell you at which particular time a certain animal in the game will appear. We want this thing to change in RDR 3 with a better and improvised hunting system, giving players a taste of actual hunting. Both Red Dead games share the same map. While RDR 2 expanding upon the map of the first game, some players accept this out of nostalgic values, while some players don't like this thing. For this, Rockstar needs to add a completely new map with its own unique locations for the players to remember. In this way, they will break the cycle and introduce something new. It will be amazing if they do that as long as it does not interfere with the in-game lore. By the end of Red Dead games, like with any Rockstar game, players end up with a large amount of money, making players confused on what thing they should spend their money on. Because Red Dead 2 offers a limited amount of things that we can spend our money on. Even if you buy everything in the game, you will be still left with a lot of money, thus making it practically useless. And we want Rockstar to change this thing in the upcoming Red Dead game. The best thing about RDR 2 is how realistic it is. There is a dedicated system for everything in the game, whether it is about you eating, sleeping, walking, running. In short, this game covers every aspect of the main character, but sometimes things become a little bit too much. Since this game adds a lot of simulation systems, it becomes difficult to keep track of each and everyone. For example, if we don't eat, even if our health is full, Arthur will become underweight, thus making him skinny. Although this thing was added for realism, but sometimes it becomes a bit too much and we want this thing to be a little different with RDR 3. Red Dead Redemption 2 had a limited amount of outfits for offline story mode. Even after finishing the game, the amount of outfits that we could buy in the stores were either recolored version of the previously outfits or some actual new outfits, but they were nothing compared to Red Dead Online's outfits. We want this thing to be different in Red Dead Redemption 3 so that we roam the West in style. And this was our wish list of things that we want to or wish to see in Red Dead Redemption 3. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We will see you in another interesting and amazing video. Till then, take care and goodbye.